Hello everyone, it's Phil with Sarros Landscaping, where we've been designing dreams and building memories for over 20 years. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to build a modular block retaining wall. Sometimes they're referred to as segmental retaining walls or precast retaining walls. But essentially what they are is precast concrete blocks that come in a variety of different colors, shapes, sizes. In our case today, we're going to be working with a Belgard product, which is a anchor diamond unit. It's a pro unit, which means it's 8 inches thick. There are blocks that are 6 inches tall. So we're working with an 8-inch block, which is a little bit more of a structural product. Now, we could have used 6-inch block, but it would have taken more material. And in our case, you'll get to see this back hillside that we're working on, and I'll give you a little bit more information as we head into the backyard. One of the things that I tend to talk about a lot is not just the project that we're working on, but what goes into the design and development of details of the project. Things like site access and the miscellaneous cleanup items that are going to be required as we finish this project and work our way out of the backyard. And what other details do our clients like to see that we bring to the table? Because there's companies out there that just do nothing but build retaining walls. But is that really what you want or what you need? Or would you like kind of a complete finished package, which is really what our company specializes in and offers? We not only build the wall, but we're going to take care of the landscaping. We're going to increase the size of things like the planting beds over here on the access side of the house. And we want to make sure that when we do a project for you, that you are left with nothing else to do other than pay us. We want to make sure that we do a complete job. If, as you can see in this case, it was necessary to pretty much destroy the whole backyard lawn because we had to bring in and out materials, and the backyard lawn wasn't in that great of shape. So you're going to probably want a company that can relocate irrigation heads, that can install the sod, that can create planting beds when this project's completed. So when it's done, you just don't have that extra headache and worry, did I account for the drainage or for the irrigation or just the miscellaneous items. We're wrapping up the wall here, which is a 2-terrace wall, again using the 8-inch thick anchor diamond product. And in each of these walls, there's a few things to take note of. In the taller portion of the wall back here, there's going to be an engineered geogrid mesh, and that geogrid mesh serves to anchor this wall vertically to the surface. So we install the geogrid mesh, and it goes back usually the height of the wall. So if this wall is 4 feet tall, we're generally going to account for 100% geogrid reinforcement. Now this would actually increase in size. So 4 foot tall wall, meaning we put 4 feet back on the geogrid layer. And once we compact around that geogrid layer and we get it nice and flat, it's actually going to create strength and durability and pull that wall closer to the vertical surface. All right, so I'm back, and had to get rid of the jacket. It was getting a little warm out here. So I was talking to you about how this wall is reinforced. We're going to kind of walk down, and I'm going to show you a little bit. Here's our yard. Clearly, we've made a mess of the place, and that's often the case. I mean, when we're doing a project like this, things tend to look a lot worse before they look a lot better. But we actually are closing in on the end of this project, and by end of day today, this mountain of dirt will be gone, which we're very grateful for, because tomorrow we have a 100% chance of heavy rain, and unfortunately we're not going to have a chance to get the sod installed before this heavy rain comes. So at the very least, what we want to do is we want to move this big mountain of dirt and get it out of our way. So when we come back in a few days, we want to make sure that at least we don't have a big giant pile of wet mud that we have to haul away. So we want to get it out today while it's dry, it's light, and it's easy to dump and get rid of. Here's a better view of this wall that we've got going in. We've got a really nice staircase coming up the center. Quick note on that staircase. Let me just show you a little bit about one of the features of this block. If you look at this block, we're able to make a nice radius turn around the wall as a curve. Now, when it comes to the staircases, we would end up with a very large turn and radius, and if we were to try to radius this in. So what we do is we order these 90-degree wall blocks. So these blocks are actually specially made by the manufacturer to have a 90-degree corner, which allows us to wrap it around. Now, oftentimes what we've seen is we'll see wall blocks that are cut at a 45-degree angle right here. And while that may work for 1 or 2 rows, when you've got multiple rows of wall block cut at a 45-degree angle, it actually creates a pretty weak joint in this corner, and it doesn't look all that good. So it's better to actually order the 90-degree corners that the manufacturer has made specifically for situations like this. In this backyard, we're going to be finishing off this hillside, and that's the reason I'm out here today. Is I was just meeting with the client and going through this back hillside. We're going to be putting in a number of different plants. On the upper terrace, we're going to have some emerald green arborvitaes that is going to provide some green screen and somewhat of a living fence, so to speak. We're also going to have 2 Muskogee crepe myrtles at the right and left-hand side of the top staircase. The Muskogee crepe myrtles have a really beautiful lavender color bloom to it, almost purple color bloom to it, and they're just a really nice tree to have installed. And a lot of times crepe myrtles can come in multi-trunks, which means if you've seen a crepe myrtle grow, it may have 2, 3, 4, 5 separate trunks that come up, or you can get them in a single trunk. Now, a single trunk crepe myrtle is going to be a more rare find. So what you're going to want to do is you may have to hunt around at several different nurseries to find it. It's going to be a more expensive crepe myrtle as well. So I'm not real sure which one we're actually going to use yet on this job. That's one of the things that I'm going to discuss with the homeowner and let him decide what he would like. Also on this upper terrace, we're going to have 14 encore azaleas. So we're going to plant 7 encore azaleas to the left and 7 encore azaleas to the right of that staircase. We're going to have about 30 creeping blue Pacific junipers. The blue Pacific junipers are going to help us where this hillside is very steep along the sloped angle. You may not be able to tell that exactly from this video, but it actually does have a pretty steep portion. So again, all these numbers that I'm throwing out will divide evenly between the left and the right side. So 30 junipers will put 15 on the left, 15 on the right. In the corners of this, we're going to put 1 camellia in the left corner, 1 camellia in this back right corner. So we'll have that kind of anchoring, and we use plants to anchor locations. So at the top of the stairs where I have a large Muskogee crepe myrtle to the left and right, it kind of anchors the top of the staircase, and we can fill in between with the azaleas or the junipers and the camellias. And we're going to have also 5 loropetalum shrubs to the left and to the right as well. So that's going to fill that top area really, really nice. This bottom terrace, to the left and right of each side of the stair, we're going to have creeping blue phlox. Phlox is a perennial plant that just blooms a lot through the spring and summer months, and it clumps together in time, and when it grows together, it just creates like this beautiful mat and mound of flowers. It doesn't look all that great in the wintertime because it is a perennial plant, but it comes right back in the spring and looks pretty awesome through most of the growing season. In the middle of this here, we're going to have gold mop cypress. Gold mop cypress is one of my favorite go-to evergreen shrubs. It doesn't flower, but it has a real lemon, like a lemon yellow color to it, and it's got the same feel as a cypress tree in a shrub. So I like the fact that it has a different foliage than a lot of the other plants, and it offsets some of the green that you're going to find in the azaleas and the junipers by introducing this yellow color into your plant. That combined with the loropetalums, which are going to have a red foliage to it, now you're intermixing plants that have green, yellow, and red in their leaf structure, and they have different texture to the foliage, so it really makes the design more interesting. We are going to have 2 muley grass. Muley grass is a fall blooming decorative grass. It's not a huge variety, not like the large giant 10-foot tall pampas grass, and in about November time frame it's going to get a really full purple bloom to it, and it just looks beautiful. So we've also selected plants that are going to bloom at various times throughout the year. So once this is done, we're going to fill all of that in with black color shredded hardwood mulch, and that's going to finish off this area really, really nicely. So our plan here is we're about 2 days away from finishing. Today we're going to wrap up the wall, we're going to finish our grade, and we're gonna let it rain tomorrow, and we're probably gonna leave it alone the next day, and we'll come back to the job and we'll have 1 day where we'll plant all of these shrubs and trees that I was just talking about. We're gonna put in some bed edging. We're gonna line here along the fence. See the shadow, the sun comes across here. So about 2 feet out from this fence is all shadows. So what we're going to do is line this area with decorative egg rock. We're going to put a drain in this area as well. We're going to resod the backyard the following day, and we're going to be done with this project. So we've got about 2 days left on this project, and we will be able to wrap it up, and I'll make sure to post some photos of this when it's all done. Thanks so much, and best of luck with your next landscaping project. And if you're in the Atlanta metro area, feel free to take a look at us online at sarroslandscaping.com. And if you like to receive more information and more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And best of luck with your next project.